Alright guys, welcome to my first ever LP of Rome Total War. Now, I wasn't originally going to do another LP on Friday, but I figured, I had Rome Total War also installed on Steam, so I just said, why not? Let's just go with it, see where it takes us, and yeah, I mean, I think this is where it's taken us, I think it's going to be fun, and I hope that, it's an enjoyable LP series. Again, this will be my first time ever experiencing like audio formatting and stuff, and formatting all that in. So it's going to be a real interesting test for me in the beginning. I might be late. I hope I'm not late on getting these videos out, just because my inexperience with audio editing and the video recording wasn't too hard. It's just I have a feeling that this audio portion might be the death of me, but I'll be able to hopefully fight my way through it. So. Thank you guys, just for watching this, and I hope you guys enjoy this. So, quite eager to get this underway. You can buy this on Steam for like $12.99, I believe. Not too bad. So we're just gonna go on the Imperial campaign, change the advice to low, and I think we're just gonna do no battle time limit, so that way we can have nice long battles. So, here are our three factions. We have just three in total for this base campaign, nothing too serious. Our first family we have is the House of Julii. The second one is the House of Brutii, and lastly we have the House of Scipii. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail about these families, mainly because, I mean, just look at all this information that they have on them. I mean, I don't want this to be like a 20-minute video of me just reading about their faction, so mainly, the House of Brutii and the House of Scipii are like the House of Julii, except they'll focus in different areas. For example, House of Scipii will mainly focus in northern Africa. The House of Brutii likewise will be focusing in the Greek Isles. They'll see a lot of action with the Greeks. And the House of Julii will focus in northern Europe, and their main enemy in this will be the Gaul faction, essentially. That's where their area of focus will be. Now, for preferential matter, I prefer House of Julii just because I like the whole northern, Europe, northern Europe landmass better. It's just something I've always enjoyed. So we'll hop right into it. And I was originally going to play this cutscene, but for some reason the audio was lagging in this portion when I was playing the game. So I had to just key out of it and get to this load screen so we can hop right into it. So I hope you guys aren't too upset with that. I don't know what the problem was, so I'm hoping that it can be fixed. So yeah, so just wait for this to load so we can hop into the game map and check things out. So as you can see, right as we hop in, we are presented with a Senate mission, and that is to take the town of Segesta. And we'll also earn a nice, generous reward. So we can zoom in here, and we'll take us right to our key point, right here, Segesta, right outside of our starting area, so we'll be able to see a lot of action right away. Alright, so, oops, pressed the wrong button there. Let's move over. Alright, so here are two factions, or two cities, and to start, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I suck at managing cities in these games, mainly because I always end up getting mass debts. My towns usually end up just falling into mass decay, and I build things that I'm not supposed to, and things that I think I'm building that, will help me, they usually just end up biting me in the butt. So what I usually do, I usually come in here and put them on auto manage. Everything except for recruitment, because I like handling that myself. I like picking what units I need for situations. So mainly every town in this game will be auto managed, except for recruitment purposes. I'm sorry if that will upset you guys. For those of you that like the more tactical, in-depth thing, for me though, it's not my cup of tea. I just don't like it. I usually end up screwing messing around, and I don't want this to be a game where I have to key out, do cheat codes just to get a bunch of coin, just so that way I can stay afloat and be able to play a game of this. So, probably do some practicing off camera just to see if I can, you know, successfully do something. Alright, so just get a general lay of the land. As you can see, we have our two family members out here in the field, one to our south. And I think the first thing we're going to need to do
Sir!
I think we'll recruit, but I think first we'll show our family tree first. That's a good place to start. So as you can see, there's our faction leader, Flavius Julius, and H47 with his wife, Faustina, and their three beautiful children. And our first one is Lucius Julius, our faction heir. Secondly, we have Quintus Julius. And lastly, we have Vivius Julius. And each one is married off to just a random lady, and each one has an offspring. As you can see, Lucius Julius and his wife were quite the frisky pair. And they have three children, one daughter, and two sons. Now, the daughter, I believe, Fadia, yes, age 13, she's actually marriage age, which, of course, in that time would have been age appropriate. So she will actually we'll start getting suitors asking her hand in marriage, so she'll be able to bring us in some new faces to our family. What's that? But out of our four sons that we do have two, I believe, Emilius and Manius. They'll be our first two to come of age, basically, and they'll be able to become generals like their fathers before them and their grandfather, and they'll be able to ride onto the field of battle with us. So, here we have the Senate, basically controls of their missions, and our current standings on the floor. As you can see, everybody starts out in the Senate with equal amount of representatives and equal amount of power, and everyone starts out as equal amount of hatred in the eyes of the plebeians. And yeah, you know, plebeians hate us, and so our objective in this game will be able to get the people to vote with us and to gain standings and favor in the Senate, which is a very good thing. Now, diplomacy is handled a bit differently in this than it is in Shogun. We still have our, you know, list of all the people we can get, but diplomacy is actually carried out through the use of units called diplomats, as with our case with Sextus and Tony. So we'll send them to this diplomat, and we can't quite reach them.
Your Honor.
So I'll talk about the spy. So he's the spy, pretty much like the ninja. He's the stealthy agent. His job is just to gather information on cities, armies, all that stuff.
Orders?
So what we need to focus on is starting out getting our area ready for battle. And that will mean more troops and buffing up our army. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these two town watch guys, move them out, and have Flavius take them into his arm, and we'll replenish the two town watch guards here. Get that settled. Alright, so we do have two units of Histadii in here, and we're going to have to build a few more to use those, and I think we'll also build a boat. It's going to come in handy later, as I demonstrate you guys actually build boats a lot in this. So we're going to take these two Histadii, and actually I think we're just going to take one to Vivius, so that way he has a little bit extra defense. I mean, this guy's already buffed up enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Vivius head to our border with Gaul. So Vivius, and we'll move right. What we're going to have him do when he gets there, we're going to have him build a watchtower. And what that watchtower will basically allow us to do is spy on the enemy, basically. We can't see inside their cities, but it gives us a nice field of view, and it will allow us to monitor the lands and be able to see their troop movements as well, which will come quite in handy in later times. So finish him off. We'll just move right there to that little road to our base, so that way we can take his movement, finish that off.
Out of move, sir.
Alright, so with that, don't get advice, lady. Alright, so as you can see, we have the House of Scipii here, and the House House of Brudii, and then there's Rome right there, heavily guarded. So what Scipio will do, their first mission will be to take the Syracuse and the Greeks, and for Brudii it will be to take Apollonia from the rebels. And our mission, of course, is to take Segesta. And the missions are pretty much the same for each faction every time you log in to a new game, it's the same. So, not much variation there. But our objective will basically be to move through Europe, eventually making our way to Great Britain right here. And part of the way, I believe, will probably also be in Spain sometime soon, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're going to take one step at a time, get everything done, end the turn right here so we can get the action. As you can see, the Gauls have already approached us, and with the offer of trade rights. Now, we're going to be attacking them fairly soon, I believe, but it's always good to still just take the trade rights. I mean, it's easy trade. And Badia, our 13-year-old daughter, has finally got a suitor at age 42, good grief. But, as you can see, he's a garrison commander, and he brings to the table a lot of traits and some not so good skills. I mean, his management is so low, they won't let him have a shrub storm. That's just pathetic. You should see how bad that is in people's eyes. His command and influence is likewise just as bad, but he does have some interesting traits. He's a good attacker, he's also a good defender, and he's also a drill master. Now, drill master is pretty bad for us because he gives -2 morale to all of our troops on the battlefield, but increases their movement by 15%. And he also has a +1 to law, which improves public order in town. So basically, if a town's about to go into rebellion mode, he can usually, influence the town, to keep them settled and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, he just holds us back in terms of capability. So what we're going to probably do, we're probably going to decline him just because, he's bringing nothing to the table that we don't already have. So,
Yes, master.
we're going to take our spy and put a spy on this guy right here, it's Galen family member, named Lugo Torix, I believe, and as you can see, he's a very prominent family member. His management is well beyond that our Claudia's suitor. He's only age 18, I mean, and he's a civilized slave. He, adds to his management. He's also intelligent and stern, which, good grief, 100% to bribe him. Let's check his bodyguard. Barbarian warlords, nothing special. There's 26 soldiers, 3
This
attack
scroll gives
bonus,
you important
total
information
armor
about him.
defense is 14. Don't need you. Those you. So next, what we're gonna do? I think we should move him by a town. I think. No, we'll move him to
Can't do it,
Patavium,
sir.
which I think would be a
Moving.
perfect target for our ascension into Gaul territory.
Secrecy is
Mainly
assured.
because it's right by the ocean. It's a port town, and it should be able to generate us some good revenue. Since it is by the ocean, we'll be able to trade with more people. But after we do take Segesta, we will move our forces north and take Medolanium. I usually call it Mandalore for some reason, don't ask me why, but that will be our secondary target.
Orders?
So, without further ado, let's get this campaign started. We'll attack Segesta, closing you. We don't need to
Engage
talk
the
right
enemy.
here. Get him over there.
Besieging
Show them a
settlement,
thing
sir.
or two. And since Segesta doesn't have any defenses, we don't need to make any siege equipment. We could also wait 2 turns until our settlement runs out of food. But I figured, why not just attack them right now? So, we'll get that started. All that's good. So, I think I'm going to probably end up cutting things around here pretty soon. I don't know. It's approaching that 15-minute point, so thank you guys for watching. Be sure to thumbs up the video, like it, and subscribe if you do, and please stay tuned for part 2. We'll continue the Siege of Segesta, alright? Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright guys, welcome back to our second video for Let's Play Rome Total War. Better stop.